It doesn't look like a crime scene. Millions of packages move through America's airports every single day. Electronics, clothing, auto parts, medicine. The overwhelming majority are exactly what they say they are. But some are not. Somewhere inside a box that looks exactly like this one was a weapon. Not a knife, not a sword. Something smaller, far more dangerous. January 13th, 2026. Federal investigators in Boston had been watching a supply chain for months. What they found, at the end of it, would shock even the most seasoned agents in the room. 3,093 machine gun conversion devices, 124 silencers, 282 firearms, 12,000 plus rounds of ammunition. All of it shipped from China, through the air, into American hands. This is the story of how they did it, and how, eventually, they got caught. To understand how 3,000 illegal conversion devices ended up in American packages, you have to understand a very modern kind of criminal. This wasn't a cartel. It wasn't a single desperate man with a suitcase. This was a business.
Somewhere overseas, in China, according to investigators, a network had built what looked, from the outside, like a perfectly normal e-commerce operation. A website, product listings, customer reviews, prices in US dollars, payment options. The products? Small metal parts. Kind of thing that, sitting on a table, looks like nothing at all. Tab of metal, a spring, tiny mechanical insert. In the right hands, on the right gun, these devices, known as switches or auto-sears, can convert a semi-automatic pistol into an automatic weapon in seconds. Under the National Firearms Act, these devices are classified as machine gun conversion devices. Importing them into the United States is a federal crime. Possessing one is a federal crime. And yet, demand was apparently enormous. The network knew their customer base. They priced the items competitively. They accepted cryptocurrency, anonymous, borderless, hard to trace. And when it came time to ship, they used air cargo.
Not in a dramatic, suspicious way, not in a crate labeled danger. They use the same networks that move your Amazon orders, the same freight pipelines that carry car parts, phone chargers, and garden tools. That was the genius of it. And that was also their vulnerability. Here's how the operation allegedly worked. And understand, this isn't unique to this case. This is a playbook that's being used right now by networks all over the world. Step 1. Manufacture the restricted items overseas. Keep them small, keep them modular. A single conversion device is roughly the size of your thumb. Step 2. Build a digital storefront. Use anonymized domains. Accept only cryptocurrency, Bitcoin typically. No credit cards, no names, no paper trail. According to federal investigators, 2 such domains were at the center of this operation. Step 3. When an order comes in, pack the restricted items inside ordinary packages. Co-pack them with legitimate goods, innocuous items that serve as cover. Electronics, hardware, auto accessories. The special cargo disappears inside the noise. Step 4. This is where the air cargo system becomes the weapon. Send the package through a freight forwarder, consolidator, an indirect air carrier. Each handoff is a layer of plausible deniability. Each party in the chain handles the package legally because they don't know what's inside. The manifest says something like electronic components, hardware samples, assorted parts. Step 5. The package boards a commercial aircraft, flies over the Pacific, lands somewhere in the United States, and now it's inside the country. From there, a government-controlled mailbox or a similar intercept address is used to complete the final leg. The buyer never has to show a face. The seller never had to leave their warehouse. Thousands of these packages were allegedly processed this way. Not dozens, not hundreds, thousands. The operation had, by the time investigators moved in, allegedly distributed 3,093 conversion devices into the United States, along with 124 silencers, along with 282 firearms and over 12,000 rounds of ammunition. That is not a side hustle. That is industrial-scale trafficking. And here's what makes it terrifying. The entire thing was designed to be invisible inside a system that moves millions of legitimate shipments a day. The operation wasn't broken by a lucky catch at a scanner. It was broken by patience. Investigators from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Massachusetts, Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and CBP's Boston field office had been building a case for months. They used undercover purchases, buying directly from the suspected vendors, tracking the digital footprint, following the cryptocurrency. Every purchase created a thread. Every shipment created a link, and slowly, a picture emerged.
not just of the items being sold, but of the entire digital infrastructure behind it, the websites, the payment systems, the shipping accounts. This is where modern federal investigations live, not just at the border with a flashlight, upstream.
In the data, in the transaction records, in the digital architecture of the crime itself. Meanwhile, at the physical layer, inside cargo facilities, at screening stations, a parallel set of eyes was watching. The automated targeting system, CBP's risk scoring engine, ingests data on shipments before they even leave the ground overseas. Shipping patterns, declared values, origin countries, frequency, inconsistencies. Something about certain shipments had begun to raise flags. The shapes aren't consistent with what was declared. Too dense, too uniform, too deliberate. An officer leans forward. Something is wrong with this box. January 13th, 2026. Federal authorities move. 2 domains, the online storefronts used to market and sell the restricted items, are seized for forfeiture. 2 cryptocurrency accounts linked to the operation are frozen. The money evaporates from the wallets in real time. Whoever was on the other end of those accounts watched it disappear. And across the country, in cargo facilities, in intercept mailboxes, in warehouses, physical seizures unfold. 3,093 conversion devices. Picked up, photographed, logged. 124 silencers, each one placed in an evidence bag. 282 firearms, one by one. 12,000 rounds of ammunition. This was not a border seizure of a single desperate shipment. This was the unraveling of a supply chain, a market that had been operating inside America's own logistics infrastructure. And the Boston operation wasn't alone. By the time of this press release, investigators had documented roughly 360 domain seizures connected to this enforcement ecosystem. 125 investigative referrals sent to agencies around the country. This case was a signal flare, not a finale. But this isn't only a story about the ultra-modern, because 6 weeks later, on February 18th, 2026, at Philadelphia International Airport, investigators opened a different kind of box. It had shipped from the United Arab Emirates, bound for Jacksonville, Florida. The manifest declared the contents as metal decoration articles. The X-ray machine disagreed. On the screen, the operator saw shapes. Long, thin, pointed at one end. Sword-like objects. Officers broke the seal, opened the crate, and inside were 36 copper alloy short swords and 50 copper alloy arrowheads, dated by archaeologists to approximately 1600 to 1000 BCE. The Bronze Age, 4,000 years old. Weapons that had survived the rise and fall of civilizations, the Egyptian Empire, the early Greeks, the Bronze Age collapse itself, had been packed into a cardboard shipping container labeled as home decor and dropped into an express air freight network. The items are believed to originate from the Talish region near the Caspian Sea in what is now Iran. Someone had dug them up, trafficked them out of the Middle East, routed them through the UAE, and tried to walk them into the United States as decorations. They were seized, held in custody. 2 cases, months apart, 2 completely different categories of contraband, both caught by the same system, both dependent on the same vulnerability. In the Boston operation, individual prosecutions are still playing out across multiple referrals.
Networks of this scale don't collapse with a single arrest. They unravel in layers. Warrants, interviews, cooperation deals, financial tracing. The digital infrastructure has been dismantled. But the people behind it, that investigation is continuing. In a separate but connected 2026 case, one that illustrates just how global this weapons pipeline is, a federal court in New York handed down a sentence of 39 months imprisonment to an international arms dealer who had conspired to export American-made firearms and ammunition to Russia, routed through Kyrgyzstan, worth approximately $1.58 million. 39 months for $1.58 million in weapons exports to a sanctioned country, using the same kinds of freight forwarding, misdeclaration, and re-export tactics seen in the Boston and Philadelphia cases. The methods are connected. The networks are connected. The goods are different. The game is the same. In January of this year, the Government Accountability Office published a supply chain security audit that confirmed what investigators already know in their bones.
Every time cargo changes hands, from manufacturer to consolidator to freight forwarder to airline to customs facility to delivery, there is a breach point, and there are dozens of these handoffs in a single shipment's journey. The system isn't broken, but it is exploitable. And the people who exploit it have studied it far more carefully than most people realize. Here's what stays with you after you look at these cases. The conversion devices, smaller than a thumb, capable of turning a legal handgun into an illegal automatic weapon in seconds. 3,000 of them made it into the country before this operation caught up. The Bronze Age swords survived 4 millennia, crossed the Atlantic in a cardboard box with a sticker that said decorative. And a man got 49 months for building a weapons pipeline worth over $1.5 million. The system works. It caught these. But the system is also a chain, a very long, very fast, very distributed chain, touching airlines, warehouses, freight forwarders, customs brokers, delivery networks,
and millions of individual packages every single day. The GAO said it plainly. Every handoff is a vulnerability, and the criminals building these networks, they know exactly where the handoffs are. If these shipments were caught, what do you think is still getting through? If this story made you think differently about what airport security actually means, what happens before the checkpoint, inside the cargo hold, in the data systems you never see, then hit subscribe. Every week, we go inside the cases that don't make the front page, the busts that almost didn't happen, the systems built to protect a country of 350 million people from threats that arrive in boxes that look exactly like everyone else's. Next up, drop a comment. Tell me, which part of this shocked you most? The scale of the Boston operation, the Bronze Age swords, or the fact that the same playbook works for both? I read every single comment. See you in the next one.